Hello and thanks for joining us on TVC News at 4. We are staying on the death of the Olubadan of Ibadan, Lekan Balogun, Ali Okunmade II, where his body has arrived Mapo Hall for lying in state. Present at the event are obas and council, among whom is the former governor of Oyo State, Senator Rashidi Ladoja. Traditional worshippers have performed rites at the graveside, and sympathizers are waving goodbye as the body arrived at Ali Iwo Palace for internment. The Olubadan died at the age of 81 at the University College Hospital in Ibadan. Governor of Oyo State, Seyi Makinde, who made the announcement in a statement, described the late monarch as an epitome of royal excellence and a great achiever during the 2 years of his reign. He expressed his condolences to the Olubadan Council, the Oyo State Traditional Council, the people of Ibadan land and Oyo State, praying to God to grant repose to the soul of the deceased monarch. He is to be buried at 4 p.m. today. And President Bola Tinubu has condoled the family of the Olubadan, the government of Oyo State, the Olubadan Council, the Oyo State Traditional Council, and the people of Ibadan land and Oyo State over this gaping loss. President Tinubu mourns the Olubadan, yet celebrates his remarkable life of service to his people, the state, and the nation. The president describes the late Olubadan as, quote, "He was compassionate, courageous, and an unrelenting advocate of the pristine ideals of peace, honesty, and unity. His wise counsel will be sorely missed at this time in the life of our country," end quote. President Tinubu asks all who are in mourning to find solace in the immortal legacies of the Olubadan, stating that the Olubadan lives eternally in his good deeds and in the memories of everyone touched by the majesty of his essence. TVC News correspondent Ayomide Ajegbe joins me on the news this hour for updates from Ibadan, Oyo State. Well, it was announced, Ayomide, that the Olubadan would be buried at 4 p.m. It's about 4:02 now. What's the situation there?
Thank you very much, boss. Yes, some minutes ago, the body of the Olubadan was brought in here. If you check on the side this is where he is going to be buried, and this is where he is going to be buried. If you check on this side, there's a lot of sympathizers here. There is a mammoth crowd here. Earlier, this place was not full to the brim, but I can tell you right now that the crowd here is to capacity. And for the first time, I saw some people wailing and crying. I didn't see that earlier while we were at the other end of the town, because it seems like the business was just going as usual. But I can tell you there's a significant change in the mood. I could see some people who are much more closer to the throne who are betraying emotions. And what is going on right now is traditional rites on the departed monarch. After that has been done, then they will bring the body right here. If you check this place, this is where some of the departed elders in that family, in that lineage, has been buried. Some were kings, some were not, and this is where they are going to be buried. That is the situation right here. But I can tell you for a fact that sometimes we want to ask ourselves, why is it that the kings in succession in Ibadan recent have been short-lived? We might want to ask one or two questions about that, but I'm sure that people of Ibadan knows better.
Indeed. And now talk us through the significance of the Olubadan stool. I mean, the reverence accorded it, and how the Ibadan people actually, submit to this authority.
Yeah, that's very, very important. The significance of the Olubadan stool is something that you cannot take out of the water. One will wonder why there is a significant number of people who are from Ibadan. Every male child from Ibadan who is an Ibadan indigene dreams of becoming an Olubadan. Interestingly, I have one of the mourners. I'll call him a great grandson of the Olubadan. Of course, the late Olubadan is his grand uncle. I just want to ask you, how do you describe the significance of the stool? Because it seems as if in the Yoruba land as a whole. Of recent, we have younger kings, coming to the throne, want to develop the town. But recently, we've been having kings who has to go again after 2 years, after 3 years. Tell us about it.
Let me say simply, Ibadan has a land of its own. Where you have a land whereby warriors come to dominate, and at the same time, you have some early settlers there. So you always have that kind of thing. And when you compare the peculiarity of our accession parts, you can only compare it to that of the England, whereby you know who is the next king or queen of England. So I just believe we are enjoying that peculiarity. But that will still stand for a very long time because of the fact that we have so many people on the line already. How do you write them off and just tell them, okay, young guy is coming to become the king? It's a path whereby you have to be on that queue for close to 30 and 40 years. It's not something that's so easy like that. So we enjoy it. But with the amendments that happened recently at the Oyo State House of Assembly being effected by the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, we hope there will be some kind of adjustment to it, but that will not necessarily write off the parts which we've been doing for a while now. So we enjoy it. It doesn't give room for crisis, no problem like who is the next. We know who is the next and we are enjoying that already. I think I can only appeal to the ruling houses, the heads of such ruling houses, that they should present very young people for the post of a mortgage, because it starts as a mortgagee, then you have to write about 34 or thereabout steps before you become the Olubadan. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Of course, you've heard from him. There's a queue, and there's a way you have to be groomed to become a chief, and in the succession plan, then you become the Olubadan next in line. Of course, they are saying there is going to be amendments, but they enjoy it at the moment. And what is most important in a land, in a town, is peace and tranquility.
Indeed, and we're glad to see that playing out even as the Olubadan is laid to rest today. Ayomide Ajegbe for us in Oyo State. Thank you very much, Ayomide. Well, let's talk security now.